As the final night of the year arrives, people all around the world gather to celebrate, counting down the last seconds with laughter, music, and fireworks lighting up the sky. New Year's Eve is supposed to be a night of hope, fresh beginnings, and joyful memories. But for some people, it became the most terrifying night of their lives. Tonight, you're about to hear 3 very scary true horror stories that all happened on New Year. SEV moments when celebration turned into pure terror and midnight marked the beginning of a nightmare instead of a new year. New Year's Eve has a strange kind of magic. Streets are crowded, homes are filled with guests, and everyone feels safe, because no one expects something terrible to happen on a night like this. The noise of fireworks can hide screams, and the excitement of the countdown can distract people from danger moving quietly nearby. These stories prove that horror doesn't take a holiday, and sometimes it waits for the exact moment when people feel the safest. The first story begins in a quiet neighborhood where a small group of friends decided to celebrate New Year Eve together in a house they had visited many times before. The mood was relaxed, music played softly in the background, and the sound of fireworks echoed outside as midnight approached. As the clock moved closer to 12, one of the friends mentioned feeling uneasy, as if someone was watching the house. Everyone laughed it off, blaming it on nerves or too much imagination. A few minutes later, one of them went to another room to grab drinks and never returned. At first, no one noticed because the countdown had started and everyone was focused on the television. When midnight passed and cheers filled the room, the missing friend still hadn't come back. The group began searching the house, calling their name, until they found something so horrifying that the celebration instantly turned into panic. The police were called, but no signs of forced entry were found, and no clear suspect was ever identified. To this day, the house stands empty, and neighbors claim strange noises can still be heard every New Year's Eve. The second story takes place at a large New Year's Eve party in a busy city, where hundreds of people gathered to welcome the new year. Music was loud, lights flashed, and alcohol flowed freely as strangers danced side by side. In the chaos of celebration, it was impossible to notice when one person quietly disappeared. Friends assumed they'd stepped outside for air or left early, but hours later, concern began to grow. When the party finally ended and people started leaving, a chilling discovery was made in a restricted area of the building. What happened during the countdown was something no one had seen or heard, hidden perfectly by the noise and excitement. Witnesses gave conflicting statements, security cameras showed strange gaps, and the investigation led to more questions than answers. The case remains partially unsolved, and every New Year's Eve, those who were there remember how close horror was, hiding behind flashing lights and music. The third story is perhaps the most disturbing because it happened in complete isolation. On New Year's Eve, a person working late decided to head home just before midnight, choosing a quiet route to avoid traffic and celebrations. The streets were nearly empty, with distant fireworks lighting up the sky and cold air filling the silence. As the clock struck 12, the car suddenly stalled in the middle of the road. At first, it seemed like bad luck, but then something moved in the darkness ahead. What followed was a terrifying encounter that lasted only minutes but felt like an eternity. The person managed to escape, but evidence found later left investigators deeply disturbed. Even though no one else was ever found, the survivor claims that the moment midnight arrived, everything changed, and the feeling of being watched has never left them. These true stories reveal a darker side of New Year's Eve, a night when people trust the world a little too much, while fireworks explode in the sky and crowds cheer for a fresh start. Danger can move silently, hidden by noise and celebration. Horror doesn't announce itself, and sometimes it waits for the perfect moment to strike. As you celebrate the next New Year's Eve, remember that not every countdown leads to joy, and for some, midnight is the moment their nightmare begins.